My name is Pat Foster. I am a plaintiff in a lawsuit with Blanche Hudson against defendants John Benson and John Kluessendorf. What you're looking at is Mallard Street looking west from, and my property is on the right of that street. Miss Hudson's property is across the street from mine, and the defendant's home is across the street from mine. I purchased mine in July of 1982, and the street has always been same width and length as you see in front of you. Miss Hudson had a drainage ditch coming out of front of her yard, going under her driveway and onto the defendant's property. And that drainage ditch has been there for since 1982, since I've been there. And I was there before any properties were built over there. Defendants purchased subject to that drainage ditch in the street. And in September of 2011, they filled in the drainage ditch. And they in 2012 they placed a fence out into the physical street, and you can see that the fence protrudes in front of my property and goes inward once it passes my property at the defendant's place. This is intentionally attempting to affect my ability to get in and out of my own property. The drainage ditch was completely filled in and trees planted. And when I asked the defendants to why they did that, their only answer was, we don't want to talk about it. Well, when you fill something in like that and you call it landscaping, you could put a drain tile underneath. But they not only did not put a drain tile underneath, they put a dam where it comes out of Miss Hudson's from underneath her driveway. And that dam results in the water filling up and backing up so that it overflows onto my property. My property gets flooded on a regular basis. Okay, I started shoveling this stuff out of my driveway. Here, a lot of the road comes down. You can see here as we go up that the road's coming down my driveway. This never used to happen. And I was placing that stuff here. There was a big drain here coming right out of here. And you can see where this all comes from. It goes right over here. And it's coming right up from right here and right over here. And that's because the drainage ditch over there is all plugged up. They've got it dammed. So everything overflows in here, gets high, overflows onto the road, comes down into my house and destroys it. You can see here where it's angling down, where I've been filling it. I have no choice but to just keep filling it and do something to try to stop the water from coming into my house. The lawsuit seems to been a good idea. Damage to my property has resulted in my driveway being flooded out and destroyed alongside of it and being washed out, my garage flooding, the water coming into the front of my house and damaging the tiles at the front of my house. And I believe the foundation is giving way there. It is a slab foundation, and I believe it has been damaged because of this flooding. The basement has been flooded several times, and as long as they continue damming this, my house is being damaged. The drain east of the defendant's house, the furthest away from Blanche, where it would pick up the water that flowed through the drain that they had plugged, was filled with plastic bags and rocks to keep the water from going through it, resulting in the water also flowing out on that end, the water that got through, so that it wouldn't go through the drain completely, but again come down on my property, and it would flow right under the fence, and you could see that at the end it was backing up and not going into the drain going under their driveway. After a large rainfall, where the drain in front of Miss Hudson's property was overflowing because it was dammed by the defendants, I went out and I went to photograph, videotape the entire area after it had stopped raining, but was still draining. And I went down by showing the water in front of Miss Hudson's house, the water going through into the defendant's yard, and the water coming out of, because it's blocked at the end, flowing out onto the roadway, because it can't get by through the drain at the end that the defendants have intentionally blocked with plastic and rocks. And you can see that at the end. It's just filling up there. It's not. If any is getting through, it's not much. And then coming from the other direction, I'm coming back, and you can see the water coming out from their house, and now you can just see the steady flow of water going down a pad I have, a concrete pad, and that water flows down into my yard and down to the end where right into the channel, and you can see the water in there, and that it's all coming from the block drain above. Oh God, this is mushy in here. Not like the rest of it. They really flooded me out. Even got into my garden here. Sand from the road. Water's flowing right down into the channel. The water from up there, from Benson's thing, is now rediverted through my yard down into the channel right here. This is where it's coming. You can see where it was flowing right here. I showed pictures of it coming down before.